And we're live. Okay, blot that out. Okay, so the power to love our lives. We spent this month looking at loving ourselves, all aspects of ourselves, realizing and deepening into the truth that we are divine expressions of love, that we came forth from and are made of the creative energy of life itself, the life essence that is whole, perfect, and complete. We spent time looking at loving others, realizing that they are the same. Even if we think they don't act that way, and we ask a powerful question: what would love do here? We've loved ourselves, we've loved others, and today we conclude the month by moving into a deeper, more profound love for life itself. I want to share a statement from New Thought author Robert Collier that Reverend Chris shared a couple of Sundays ago. The power for happiness, for good, for everything we need of our life is within each one of us. The power is there. It is unlimited power. Taken from The Power by Rhonda Burns, page 221. Basically, this is saying that the power to love our lives is right within us, and that it is unlimited power. And I believe it is a power that is much greater than the power for happiness, as Collier says. Although I love that statement, happiness is determined by your circumstances. You're happy when this happens, unhappy when that happens. And this is a very human experience and very understandable. I'm very happy when things go my way, and not so much when they don't. Believe me, I get it. But there is something deeper and more profound than happiness. There is something in us that is always there and is not changed or shaken by what is or is not happening in our lives. It is not rocked by our moods or our fears or our interactions or circumstances, although we can allow those things to cover it up. So what is this that's deeper than happiness? What is this thing that when we move into it, we can't help but love our lives? Well, it is what we are made of. More accurately, I'd say it is a byproduct of what we are made of. We are made of and from love. And a byproduct of love is joy. Joy is an innate quality that we have that is not dependent upon circumstances. It is so much deeper than happiness, so deep that it may be buried, but it is there. And we are able to call it forth even in the face of circumstances that don't make us happy. Perhaps that makes us very unhappy. Miracles happen. There's an amazing scriptural story that speaks to the power of joy. It appears in Acts chapter 16, verses 16 through 40, and it goes like this. The Apostle Paul and company were out preaching, and they came upon a slave girl who was possessed with a spirit of divination, who brought her masters much profit from fortune-telling. To quote the scriptures, for days the girls followed Paul and company around, crying out, "These men are the servants of the Most High, who proclaim to us the way of salvation." And this she did for many days. Paul got annoyed. He got unhappy with the condition, the circumstances. He wasn't loving his life. The scripture says he was greatly annoyed. And he said to the Spirit, "I command you in the name of Jesus to come out of her." And he came out that very hour. When her masters saw that she was no longer going to be a money-making novelty, they grabbed Paul and Silas and dragged them into the marketplace to the authorities. The girls' masters trumped up some charges against Paul and Silas, which the authorities bought. So they were severely beaten, thrown into prison, and put in the stocks. This is not a happy situation, is it? how many of us have ever felt like this ever happened to us? Perhaps some of you are feeling it right now in this room today. The feel falsely accused. You feel like you have been beaten down. You feel imprisoned by circumstances. You feel bound, shackled by conditions. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So Paul and Silas, and what did Paul and Silas do? Did they just sit there with their heads hung down, bemoaning their fate? Did they talk about how they were totally victimized by the system? How unfair life was? How resentful they were that this happened to them? How this was going to define their life and would probably never be free again? Did they curl up in a ball and rock in depression in the corner? No, they let the innate joy they were bubbling up from them as they chose to pray and sing praises to God, hymns of joy. Who knows what happened next? Anybody here remember? Okay. There was a great earthquake, so great that the foundation of the prison was shaken. And immediately all the doors were opened and everyone in chains were loosened and they were all set free. Not just the two of them, but all the prisoners, even the guard was set free spiritually, having witnessed this miracle. They tapped into their innate joy, the joy that has nothing to do with circumstances. The joy that is beyond being happy, being this or that happened or didn't happen. Their joy then became a causative agent in their lives. I need to say that again because it's so profound. The joy became a causative agent in their lives. We talk a lot here about vibration at which we are living. In the Living Science of Mind, page 213, Ernest Holmes wrote, everything that is consciously and subjectively embodied in our thinking tends to radiate an atmosphere, a vibration which automatically attracts to itself that which is like itself. Joy is a very high vibrational energy, and when we live from our innate joy, we are living from a very high level of vibration. And we then attract things in our lives that are of that high level of vibration. This is from The Secret. Remember the movie, Daily Teachings? Every day, or at the very least, once or twice a week, take a few minutes to focus on seeing yourself in joy. Feel yourself in joy. Imagine only joy ahead in your life and see yourself basking in it. As you do this, the universe will move all people, circumstances, and events to bring that joy. Deposit some joy in the bank of the universe as often as you can. There is an investment that is more worthwhile. May the joy be with you. Rhonda Byrne. The Secret, bringing joy to billions. When Jesus tells us to rejoice and be of good cheer, he is pointing to a dynamic truth. The potential for rejoicing is already within us. Joy is spiritual capacity, and is our privilege and our responsibility to release it. Here's a little way to release it. Not long ago, on a Southwest Airlines flight, a flight attendant announced, "We have a very special person on board today. He is 99 years old. He is celebrating his birthday, and this is the first time he has ever flown." As you can imagine, the cabin breaks out in light applause. She continues to say, "On the way out, stop by the cockpit and wish him happy birthday." The cabin exploded with laughter. Just like you were supposed to do with that story, not groan. Laughter releases innate joy. A recent study revealed that laughter is a key to our mental wellness. The study, in fact, stated that we need a minimum of 12 laughs a day just to stay healthy. How many times a day do you laugh? Remember last week when Rich shared about how good it felt to laugh really hard. Mark Twain once said, "The human race has only one effective weapon, and that is laughter. The moment it arises, all your irritations go away, and a sunny spirit takes its place." There's a Yiddish proverb. What soap is to the body, laughter is to the soul. Laughter releases innate joy. Well, in his 90s, Charles Fillmore wrote, quoted in Unity magazine, the year 2000. My favorite. I fairly sizzle with joy and enthusiasm to spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. I said that a lot at work. I want us to do something together this morning that will help us sizzle with joy through laughter, if you're up for it. Everybody up for it? Sure. There was a beautiful religious science practitioner named Dr. Venture Papke, who was Ernest Holmes' personal practitioner. She lived a joy-filled life, also into her 90s, and had all her students do this exercise. Okay? It may seem silly and undignified and not something one should do in church, but we are going to do it anyway, realizing that it is spiritual practice, okay? Here's how it works. I want you to stand up and to do the best of your ability, bend over your waist, bending your knees slightly. Now as you slowly rise up, supporting your back by placing your hands on your thighs as if it feels good, start to laugh. Just a little laugh, nothing big, but let it bigger as you straighten up and the laughter. It's good. That makes you actually remember something that's funny. How many of you had a funny memory come into your head?
I watched that movie over and over.
I'll share what popped into my head. Kathy read something on the Facebook, and my sister posted it. And it's a woman has a chicken, and she says, "Well, when Agnes here stops laying eggs, we're going to eat her." And so the next caption is, "The chicken is at the grocery store getting a dozen eggs." And the checker says, "Another dozen eggs, Agnes?" And the chicken has like this anxiety look on her face, like, "Yeah, another dozen."
Yeah. No, she's right. So 12 laughs a day will keep you into your 90s. Well, let's run that.
It's actually called laughing yoga.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's try to experience that. Everybody try to laugh 12 times a day and then report back next Sunday how your energy has risen. You know, I was with my cousin yesterday that I just recently came into my life, and she was trying on lipstick, and she kind of has this permanent, like, I can't do it anymore. I swear to God I can't do it anymore. But she has kind of like this permanent frown. And I said, I couldn't tell which one looked good on her because she wouldn't smile. I finally said, "Well, you know, smile. Don't you have anything, you know?"
I am.
I know it. I said, "Look, you have to exercise these muscles." And I explained to her, I smile when I'm at home. I smile when I'm alone. Because we learn from maybe Joy that when you smile, it lifts you up. And I'm smiling all the time. I haven't had a frown on my face for a long time. And people will actually say, "Oh, I love your smile." I don't know how many people tell me, "Oh, I love your smile." Well, so anyway, I told her, just practice when you're home alone smiling if you feel funny in public. But yeah, she has a permanent frown. And, you know.
And it can even crack you up because maybe you're at home and you don't feel like smiling, but you do it anyway. And then I can crack myself up because I said, this must really look weird.
Yeah, no, I just...
Yeah, not
because the first thing I saw...
I've been shopping in the grocery store and found myself just, you know, looking and I go,
Yeah, she smiles too. I've seen her do it. Maybe that's where I got it. Maybe that's where I got it. Break out in a smile. So great. Okay, let me see. Excellent job. Okay. You are the power of joy, my friends, and you have the power to call it forth from your lives at any moment. And one way to do that is through the spiritual practice of laughter. I encourage you to engage in the practice often. Let's bring our time together today, as well as our month of this topic, to a close, meditating from Ernest Holmes called Joy Has Come to Live with Me, Science of Mind, 538. Okay, we'll start in just a minute. I don't have a rule in my house, in the morning especially, no news. I told my husband you can watch sports news or something funny, but I don't want to shoot them up, bang them up, cutthroat movies in the mornings. None of that stuff,
That would be me too. I would not let her father watch boxing or war movies.
I don't like to go before bed
They
either.
had to go in the living room if you wanted to watch that.
She'd walk in there and he'd be crying. The war movies. I'm sorry.
Perfect solution for that.
I wouldn't let him watch them in there.
Pandora.
That's where I was going to be.
And in the morning when we have breakfast, we put on the Pandora, and sometimes it's the ambient new wave kind of just etherical kind of music, and just kind of set a nice, calm, peaceful tone to the day.
It is.
I wake up and I say, wow, I'm still here. Thank you, God.
Oh, I know.
Don't act so surprised, Joy.
I know I should do that.
Well, Eastern mystic said do that every morning because 1 million people die in their sleep
Right.
every night. And I
Yeah,
went,
they do.
so when you wake up in the morning, just say, wow, I'm still here. Thank you, God.
Okay, so now we're going to relax and we're going to do, let me see, where was I? Oh, we're going to do this meditation. Okay. If you would like, close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And make these words your own. Joy has come to live with me. How can I be sad? I do so love thy presence, which is joy within me. It makes me glad. And I sing, for I am so filled with thy spirit that I cannot be depressed or unhappy. I am filled with the joy of the Spirit, and I overflow with the gladness of life. Thou art a happy companion to travel with me through life. Wonderful joy, thou art so radiant and beaming. It is impossible to be sad in thy presence. I shall give myself to thee and remain with thee, for thou art complete and satisfying. I find fulfillment in thee and joy forevermore. I am filled with a spirit of joy. We accept this, we celebrate this, and now we do that which we know we need to do, which is simply release, let go, as we leap into the life we love, into this wonderful world. And so it is.